Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves Scrap, and I'm coming to you from the land down under, and it is the second Monday of the month, which means that it is Mix It Up Monday. And on a Mix It Up Monday hop, we use mixed media and a sketch, and today's sketch is from Brandy Jo, known as Scrappy Boy Mama, and this is my interpretation of her amazing sketch. It is of my trip recently, and that was at Portage Glacier. So I've gone ahead and I've cut out some snowflakes, which I've put onto some hexagons in vellum, and that's what I'm going to use as the main feature of my layout based on the sketch. Of course, I'm using some white cardstock to mount my photo, but also to frame my page. This is me at Portage Glacier, and I'm actually holding a piece of the glacier that had come off the night before and they fished out while we were there. The colours were just spectacular. It was a sunny day and we were told that was an unheard of thing, but it really was spectacular to see that glacier up close and personal. I've got some scraps here from my desk which I'm going to utilise to build into the layout, and I have this checked background which I want to use for my base. So first of all, because it is Mix It Up Monday, that means we're using some mixed media. I'm using some charted mariner, and I'm using the smooching method with packaging and water mixed in with the oxide. And what you do is you just squirt it in and then dab it on. I then am going to use these pine needles here, and I'm going to put some splatters on, and the more water you add to it, of course, the bigger your splatters, and I've added those over the top. Now they're meant to reflect the colours of the glacier and the water from my photos, and anyone that knows me, I always use my photos to guide my paper choices and my colour choices. So as per Brandy's sketch, there is some torn paper down the side on the left hand of this layout, so I'm using some scraps that I have laid on my desk for a while. These colours are all reflected in the photos. The goldy colour there is on the deck of the boat, but it's also in the sunlight, and I have the blues that are all the different shades of blues throughout the glacier, and also the checked papers and the mixed media also reflect the different patterns and designs throughout the glacier. Now it's interesting, recently had a teaching moment with glaciers, and it's interesting how they're said around the world and how the word is said. Now I say glacier, there's glacier, there's glacier. There's a whole different way of saying it depending on where you are in the world and what nationality or what English you do. So it comes down to just pronunciation, but it all means the same thing. The block of ice that moves and crushes the mountain as it moves towards the ocean. So here I have got these hexagons as per Brandy's sketch, and as I said, I cut them out on my Cricut, and then I backed them with some vellum hexagons to give that transparency appeal that you find through ice. So what I'm doing is, as per the sketch, I'm double mounting and I'm tearing that background. So I actually have a little bit difficulty tearing this paper. I don't know why. It's so thin. You'd think it would tear super easily, but it doesn't. It's actually quite tough to tear. So I'm just taking my time tearing it out, and just to give it that torn effect to be around the outside as per the sketch. When I'm doing a sketch, I try to be pretty true to what the person who created it had intended for people to use, and I try to follow all the elements as closely as I can. Now I've left this in because I want to show how you don't just happen to lay it out perfectly first time. What I've done here with these hexagons is I've manoeuvred them around the page quite a lot. My photo is larger than what Brandy has in hers, and as a result I've had to manoeuvre the hexagons around quite a bit to make them fit and also allow them to peek out from underneath the photo. Now they're not exactly lined up beautifully, but I have managed to get it so that you can see each of those hexagons. And that has required me to move it a few times, which means I've had to re-stick it a few times. It just goes to show that it's okay as long as you just are gentle with your papers and gentle with your adhesives, you can actually remanipulate your page until you're happy with it. Now that I've got that into place, I'm going to add in the title, and I have pre-cut that on my Cricut, and then I have double mounted it so that it has the darker over the white, tying it all together. And as I said, it was Portage Glacier. This was our first glacier experience. It was quite phenomenal, and I love the colours that you can see in the glacier there. In future layouts, you'll see lots more photos that I took that day and all the details and the intricacies of that massive wall of ice. It really is spectacular. So I'm going to adhere that down flat because I have got quite bulky embellishments to add, and also with those hexagons I felt that the title just needed to be flat against. I've done multiple fonts, and I've added in a little strip at the bottom just to say, make your dreams happen. Now, to continue on with the mixed media and also the design of the layout, I'm adding in more of these hexagons through the shape of the snowflakes, and you can see that those snowflakes are then reflected through these white enamel snowflakes that I'm adding into my clusters. I've also gotten some turquoise or aqua coloured gemstones, which I'm adding to the clusters to add that little bit of sparkle, which is what is reflected in the light out of the water and the glacier. And you can see that I manipulate those around. I then put 2 onto the snowflakes, and I thought about it for a while, but I realised that while it does look effective, it's really not what I wanted to project, so I removed those. I'm adding in my date stamp because I do remember that that was our very first trip, so I know that it was the second day we were there, so I can actually add the date, which was the 13th of August. And there's my layout that I've created using Brandy's amazing sketch and the mixed media. I've used the different techniques on here to build this layout. I followed the sketch pretty closely, even to the point of different fonts, using the clusters as Brandy had in hers. I've got the smooching happening there. I've got some paint splatters, and I have the inking through the stencils, so that's my mixed media component, and that's how this layout has come together. Hopefully something has inspired you. There is a playlist in my description box below of all the ladies that are playing along with this Mix It Up Monday. Please check everybody out. Leave some love. Give them a thumbs up if you like it. As you can see, the photo just is reflected through all of the papers there. It really is a lovely design, and using mixed media is quite easy on a layout. Just give it a go. But through embellishments, through inks, through paints, whatever it is that takes your fancy. I'm Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap. Give me a thumbs up if I've done something to inspire you. Thanks to all my subscribers who keep returning, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button to find out when my new one drops. Leave me a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I appreciate all the feedback. Find me on all my socials under Kathy Loves to Scrap, including Instagram, where you will find all my layouts, even those without a video. Once again, thanks for watching. Happy scrapping. Until next time.